Everyone, and welcome to a special presentation of the Midwest F1 League. I'm Hotspot, and alongside me is our good friend Money Matt joining us in the booth today. Tonight is day one of the Division 4 showcase, or as I'm going to refer to it as pretty much the draft combine of this new division that we're setting up. The drivers are going to attempt to tame the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve in Canada and the Secure International Circuit in Bahrain. We've got two 25% length races tonight for our first taste of Division 4 action, but here we are first at the home circuit of the Midwest F1 League, the iconic Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve. 14 corners make up this 4.5 kilometer circuit with 6 to the left and 8 to the right. 3 DRS zones here, but the task at hand is going to be staying penalty free through the chicanes. And I mean, Matt, that's usually a big problem for these drivers, especially when they get into traffic, is just keeping it clean, especially coming out of turns 13 and 14. I mean, do you have anything else that you're going to be looking at today, as we are going to be starting our formation lap here very shortly?
Given that I'm mostly scouting for Renault tonight, but what I'm looking for particularly is clean, fast, and just overall just clean, smooth, fast driving from these drivers, because Renault, we're not the greatest in the league, but
respect the honesty at least.
I mean, we're not the greatest in the league, and I almost got canceled for saying that last night, but that's besides the point. But we're looking for some people to bounce that up, and I just noticed there's a D2 driver in this race.
Yeah, so what we've got there, I guess there's a couple of these team principals, I guess,
a couple
if you want
of
to call
D2,
them, are going to be scouting. Like, you're here for Renault, which, by the way, Renault has, a lot of the time, they've got a lot of talent, specifically in Division 2, where I noticed drivers like Best Pawns coming through the system, who is one of those drivers that doesn't use many assists, which actually sometimes kind of hinders him a little bit, but still has bags of talent, and you can find him near the front of the grid most of the time anyways. So, I mean, but for a lot of these teams, we find some great talent coming up. I mean, AlphaTauri just found Cake Thomas from when we started Div 3.
I mean, yeah.
So
I raced against Cake for a few races in D3. He's real. He's a real deal driver.
Absolutely.
And at his pace, he's probably going to be up in D1 at the start of next season. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets up there in some way or another. So it's going to be really good to see him shine throughout the divisions. That's going to be cool to see, because I've raced him firsthand. He's real. He's legit.
Absolutely, and so for the viewers out there, do not pay attention to what team these drivers have selected right now. That literally means absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I
team
remember
is completely irrelevant.
Yeah, I remember for Div 3 we did the personal liveries that these drivers had.
Yeah, we did multiplayer cars for that.
I'm not sure why we've done this tactic, but is what it is, as we are about to start here, and I mean, hopefully we get a nice clean, like, sunny race today, because as you know, once this track gets wet, those braking zones become that much longer, as this is one of those hybrid circuits with not a lot of elevation change, not a lot of room for error, as we are about getting ready to go. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Lights out, and away we go for the Div 4 draft combine. So we've got Monkey Mafia, who's a series regular. We got 3 right in the first corner.
Oh no!
Who's that gone off? That must be Ray. Okay, we've got
a lot of offs.
So we've got a
lot of offs.
So we've got an Alfa Romeo, that's Team B7 Racing, who's gone off pretty much immediately, missing quite a hefty bit of that front wing. We had Monkey Mafia overtake for the lead there pretty well, as it says for the lead. Never. Oh, because my screen does this when it does the standings. But we got. I'm pretty sure this is Adeltonian in the lead at the moment. Our predicted pit stop strategy. It's one-stop race no matter how you look at it. Probably around lap 13.
Do we have a safety car here?
Of 18. Do we have a safety car? It just says yellow throughout. We might
I'm not sure.
VSC, it doesn't say, but so Adeltonian, a series regular so far, followed by AP, who I'm just going to call him AP because I'm not reiterating all that the whole time, who actually had a pretty solid start, but went about 3 wide going into the corner, but actually played it really smart and kind of just backed off for it to, not make any contact, because it was very easy, especially going into that first corner, to get tangled up with some drivers, as we've already seen, as we have VTech, who's got a penalty, Rise, who has a penalty, and then Ulek back there in 11th that's got a penalty, as we've got, who's this, Valentine. Oh, we got a Red Bull into the wall. I think that could have been Vector, actually, who's just smacked the wall coming out of 14. A very chaotic start, to say the least, here for the first race of the Div 4 Showcase.
Yeah, and I raced with Valentine 2 nights ago in the Division 3 race in Baku, and he was really fast. He ended up finishing that race second, which is really good for a first race. So I'm definitely looking at Valentine in case, and if he goes down to third, which I think is where the Renault team is going to be picking, if he's still on the board at third, I'm going to be pushing to have him in yellow this for the rest of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a second place on your debut with the league, that's pretty solid. As we got PLR Optic picking up a penalty, which I assume is some sort of track limits violation coming out of turn 2 over there, which is a strange place to get that track limits penalty, but it happened. I guess is the only thing to say about that, as he makes his way now through 6 and then 7 into the DRS zone. But while we have a moment right now, we're just going to remind you that we do have a second day of this as well. Tomorrow we are heading off to both Sochi and on to, I believe it was, I had a hand in selecting these tracks as well. I completely forgot what it was. It was Sochi was the first one. I do remember that. And then I think we're going to Silverstone. Yeah, we're going to Silverstone for the second race. Right. So kind of mixing it up as far as the tracks goes.
A lot of mixed tracks.
Yeah,
but that's good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Canada's, because we get all this variation.
Yeah, Canada's not exactly the easiest track for sure. Next we go to Bahrain for the second race. So we have PLR Optic entering the pits. But next the next race we go to Bahrain, which isn't necessarily one of the harder tracks. One of my personal favorites.
Oh, trouble! VTech goes around. VTech has gone around
over there.
He tried to make a move on Adeltonian and lost it in the second chicane there.
Yeah, and that is not the best spot to go around there, as he's lost a majority of his front wing there, which is
that's a lot of wing
shame,
gone.
As he was really up there for quite a while.
He was going for second on Adeltonian, and I'm not sure if there was I don't think there was just enough room for the Red Bull to stick it in and make much of a difference, but AP is really gone right now.
Absolutely.
This is a really impressive performance.
And this is something that we're looking at specifically. It's not necessarily, because a lot of these drivers, I remember in the Div 3 races, were like, oh, let's be kind of gutsy and make these difficult overtakes. That's not necessarily what these team captains are looking for, especially when they do go to pick their teams, as we're right along with Valentine right now, as he might be making a move on Adeltonian as soon as possibly the next DRS section, as they head into 5, 6, and 7. Oh, he actually makes contact with the rear end of Adeltonian there.
And the DRS section's right here, so. But Adeltonian definitely had to run off.
Has he received any front wing damage? I can't tell from this camera angle at the moment.
Not quite.
Down the end of his car. A lot of drivers with penalties already, which, well, I mean, we kind of expected. This, I think we did this track when we did the Div 3 showcase, and there was
and there were plenty of penalties.
Well. Yeah, absolutely. It's just kind of a thing you get when you come to this track. This is one of those tracks where it's pretty much, it really just determines the race and if you can keep it clean or not. But currently our leader, AP7, going to be overtaking Ulek right here, as Ulek's a back marker once they get through 13 and 14. Ulek's hit the wall in front of him.
McLaren just nicked the wall, yeah. There goes some wing off into the grandstands.
Yeah. And this is so we have random grids on, which so pretty much, you know, we've got 4 races of this showcase or this draft combine, whatever you want to call it. So pretty much these results here, I mean, I guess what a lot of the teams are looking for is consistency, where, you know, we had Cake Thomas in the Div 3 showcase, just to use the good example, won the first race, I believe, and then immediately went into second race, and I thought it was funny how the Twitch stream chat actually told him to back off going into the first corner and drop down to the back of the pack because the random grid put him in second, and then he did, and then he won the race
to show that he could go back up. Yeah,
So,
to show
yeah.
that he could go back up, and I was in that race as well.
What were you? I kind of forgot. We've done a lot of names.
I was in that race. I was in that race because I was a Division 2 reserve, and they didn't have a full ride for me there. I want to thank Kenny for cucking me out of that ride again. I'm playing with him though, but Kenny's a great friend of mine. But anyways, so they sent me down into the D3 combine, and I had some pretty good racing. I did pretty good, and I ended up actually getting the second overall pick from Renault. So that was pretty humbling, I guess, if you will, to get that high of a pick. So
Absolutely.
and one of the tracks was Canada. So.
Yeah, I believe we're actually doing. So Canada was the same, but instead of Brazil, we're going to Bahrain for the second race. But I just want to point out, if you notice a man like Adel Tonian right now, he was in that Div 3 showcase. We've got.
He was. I actually tangled with him at Canada.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that. Actually.
Yeah, I got into it with
him
him in the third chicane. That we're coming up to now. That was good.
Yeah, Monkey Mafia, who's been in the league for as long as it's been around,
Monkey actually started the season in D1, dropped down last week, and then because we didn't have a solid, when D4 started up, we didn't have a solid someone who could consistently host the lobby every week. So Monkey volunteered to drop all the way down to Division 4, just for the sake of actually running the races and hosting them. So
and I saw Monkey's first showing in Division 2, and granted it wasn't the best, but however it was at Monaco. So I mean, if you get a solid race at Monaco, like clean or not, I think you got to be pretty lucky to even like get through that race. Never mind to finish on the lead lap with no front wing damage. So I mean so the first showing of Monkey Mafia wasn't exactly impressive, but I mean he was making moves over in Division 2. I think he had a really good race at China. In particular, where I was wondering, because we had lost Razor Guy and Jinnit, who had just moved up to Division 1, so I was questioning, I was like, can Monkey Mafia continue it for Ferrari? And he did that race, and Ferrari now one of the top teams in Division 2, though I think he's just actually
Ferrari
down into Div 3,
Let me see.
I think he's just gone back,
Monkey just went down to 4.
Oh, did he? Huh.
To host the races, that's what I was talking about earlier.
I thought you meant when Div 3 started. I thought you misspoke. My bad on that.
No. That was for D4.
I see.
Constructors Championship in D2. Ferrari is second by 10 points. That's after China though, so that may be different.
Yeah. Baku was
That'll
a tough
have to
race
update after Baku.
Baku was a tough race for a lot of drivers. I do not expect the championship standings to stay the same. As we are entering the proper pit window here, let's actually look and see who's made stops. So position 7th and then 9th through 13th have all made stops. In fact, Ulek has made 4 stops.
I'm not.
Interesting.
He must have had.
Well, he doesn't have penalties now. So
I believe he may be pitting every time he loses wing, which is not quite gonna fly too well.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that personally. But...
That personally doesn't quite attract any interest from me, and I believe he's running no ABS either. Which is, I don't have a problem with running no ABS, but I believe he's running no ABS roller, which is really not the best idea.
Yeah, and usually in these showcase races, you can tell which drivers are using the, some of these assists and which ones aren't. I remember specifically watching, to bring up Cake Thomas again, just watching him and being like, okay, this man is not using really any assists whatsoever, and for some drivers that really helps, but for some, still getting used to it. I mean, every time I try to even simply turn traction control to medium, I can't even do it. So and I'm on controller as well. It is not easy. So respect to him for that.
And I just picked up a wheel about a month ago, and everyone was telling me, oh, medium, and you can go down to all. You can turn all these assists off." And I'm like, "No, I don't think I need to. I think I'm good."
I don't think I will.
And then I ended up the first race I had on the wheel. I led 8 laps in the F2 race at Singapore.
Oof. Singapore, home.
And
F2 win, but I digress.
yeah, that was quite the start for the wheel.
I tell you what, that F2 division in particular has been one of the more fun parts of this league, and I think eventually we might just have to start a second division for it. But I honestly, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing it, and the fact that we get to stream it every week, good times.
Yeah,
good times. It's really
a total
tough. It's
blast
competitive as heck.
Dude, with the Australians out there, a third place is a pole.
Absolutely.
And me getting third place in Australia in qualifying, I was over the moon, because I never thought I'd qualify third in an F1 race, especially not this early.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you and me are actually 4th and 5th in the driver's standings.
But points just got updated. I'm 4th and 5th.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty solid. I'm actually quite chuffed with that, if I'm completely honest. I think after Austria, I was really stressed after Austria in particular. I was just
after Austria, you were down in 6th. But you were only 3 points under me. But
yeah, and I've raced one less race than everyone else in that division as well. I think it's honestly just one of those things.
The first week.
I would just reserve, but let's get back on the topic here, as I probably could talk with you about the league all night, but we need to actually cover this race a little bit. So let's just go through the penalties.
Podcast confirmed.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I've been wanting to do that for the longest time now. But anyways, let's go through the penalties at the moment. So our leader AP7 has 3 seconds.
Just got a penalty now. Just picked one up.
Has he? Because he got rid of. Did he get rid of the first penalty? Because he had 3 seconds.
Last time I checked, he didn't have a penalty. I'll check the race director here to see penalties as he just goes into the pits.
And Adeltonian, who's just smacked the wall coming out of turn 10, he's got 6 seconds. Valentine behind him also has 6 seconds. Young DJ, CJ, that's a mouthful. He's got 6 seconds currently. Rise has 8 seconds, so I think he actually had 11 earlier, and I think he may have pit to get a couple seconds taken off of that. VTech has 5 seconds, PLR Optic has 6 seconds, DDL has 3 seconds, and then ULEC has 6 seconds, and okay, now AP's just put up to 8 seconds.
AP just sped in the pit lane, that's what it was. He got a speeding penalty.
Oh, that's a tough penalty as well, because, I think he could probably manage the 3-second penalty, but I mean, he's got 2-second gap back on Adeltonian right now, but that does not help. And that's enough.
Right now, right now he has the win.
Yeah, that's going to be really close as well. Still a lot of time left, mind you, but very close.
Plenty of laps.
The leaders are starting to, they were approaching back markers a little bit ago, as they might be approaching them again very shortly. But here we are, along with Valentine. Can he possibly make this move on Adeltonian shortly? No, he's playing it pretty clean so far, because he recognized. I think he recognizes that. Yeah, I think he recognized that Adeltonian has the front wing damage, as I mentioned last lap, just completely smacking the wall on the exit of turn 10. Is he going to get?
And that DRS is cracked open pretty wide, but I don't know if he's going to make the move.
And Adeltonian stays out, and he's got quite a bit from what I understand. He just kind of looks wacky. Yeah, he's missing the end plate on the left-hand side of that car, so that could be an overtake. We might be seeing
he is.
Shortly.
That could be. That is quite a bit of downforce lost. But
I mean, it's still manageable. But it's, any more than that, you really have to box. I mean, me personally would try to stick with what he's got now, and I think the fact that he's actually doing some pretty solid defensive driving at the moment to keep it within a respectable gap to where the DRS, because, you get the DRS within a second, but that doesn't guarantee you're going to get an overtake on him. And I think Adeltonian's doing a pretty solid job at keeping the pace up and keeping Valentine behind him. And Valentine, who I believe has just picked up another 3 seconds, as he's up to 9 now.
No, he's had that for a little bit. I'm not sure when he got his 9th, but what I noticed about Valentine last lap going into the final chicane, he had the DRS wide open and could have made a dive on Adeltonian, but he didn't. And I kind of expected a dive, but for him to not make that bold moves kind of showed that he doesn't really, I guess he's not quite about, he's not really going for the glory move, but more of he knows what he knows what a good move is and a smart move is, and he knew that that wasn't one of them, and I side with that because that wasn't quite the right overtake opportunity, and he noticed that, so I like that because he's got enough, I guess, conscience to know that that isn't the right move.
Mm-hmm. And so Adeltonian and Valentine, I think Adeltonian's just picked up 3 seconds for 13 and 14.
He has just picked up another 3.
As Valentine might actually make this overtake here, but I mean that's one thing that I personally appreciate in watching these drivers and scouting these drivers, just in general, is I like to see if they're patient or not with these overtakes, because you can see Valentine has been wanting to make a move on Adeltonian, and this is it now, and he does it cleanly as well.
And he's gonna have the DRS too. That was a
and he's they touched there. I'm not sure.
No.
I'm not exactly sure why that just happened. There was plenty of room on the track for both.
Collision. Does Ferrari have a... What's up with Ferrari? I thought the Ferrari had a puncture for a moment. No, he's okay. But now the playing field is relatively evened out.
And Apar's just...
Here comes
Adelton
back.
Our leader, AP's up to 11
seconds. Oh, he's got another...
Yeah,
he's picked up another 3 seconds. But he's out of range. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He's pulled 6 seconds because of these two battling. And that's just gonna give him the win regardless.
And I'm looking at Uncle Ben's race back here.
I love these names. Some of the names we've got around here are great.
Names are just undefeated. No matter what game you play, they just keep getting better and better. And but I'm looking at Uncle Ben here.
Names.
He's sitting behind these two drivers that, kind of hovering
He's
around
within
half
DRS
a second.
range of Adel.
He doesn't have a penalty to his name either.
More contact.
More contact here, and Valentine and
this is gonna get good.
Back at it again. But here's Uncle Ben. We're riding along with him currently at the moment. Adeltonian's going to have the DRS.
He's going to crack open that DRS.
This is going to be close. But
so is Adel.
But as we were saying earlier, Valentine was very patient with his overtakes, which is, as scouting for his teams, is something you really, really enjoy to see. Someone that recognizes where they're at as well, because if you remember, Valentine had the he had the extra 3 seconds of penalties before Adeltonian picked up his most recent 3 seconds, but he was recognizing that. He was just being patient. And then he recognized, listen, we're in a battle for position now. Now I need to make my move, and that's exactly what he did. So his stock surely just went up in this pool of drivers as Uncle Ben's race. He's just picked up 3 seconds. Commentator's curse has struck again. As
the only two who haven't picked up penalties are Monkey and B7, who is back here. The incident at the start of the race, and I believe he's missing some wing as well. The Alfa Romeo's missing some wing, but he's down in 10, so it's not quite worth mentioning.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's still got...
B7.
How much gap does he have? Is he within that gap? Oh, he's just been overtaken by Ray, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's in the pits.
He's in the pits. Ray, I was about to mention Ray. I had a good battle with over in F2 on Wednesday.
Ray is really good in F2. He's quick in F2.
Oh, he milks every ounce of speed he can out of that car, and I remember seeing that as well. I was like, I might have this dude in the corners, but in the straights, I'm absolutely no match for this man, and he would have had third had he not made contact with the back markers that were in front of him, which is unfortunate because at Australia, there's really not a lot of space to go around, especially when you're getting into Sector 3. As we have here,
it is a street circuit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Australia, a solid track, though, and a lot of changes coming to it as well, as you got, I believe, the chicane over in... and what's this here? Adeltonian's just been cut off by a back marker, who the back marker in question...
there he goes. Round goes the back marker. That's DDL.
DDL, who mentioned he was...
That's his whole wing gone.
He let Valentine go, which is also nice to see, because, when you get a back marker in that position, we also look for, just the utter respect that they have, which he did well, and then he just kind of got in front of Adeltonian for some reason. Now he's ultimately
maybe there was nowhere for him to go, but maybe there was nowhere for him to go. Maybe there was there's a friendship there, but Valentine just picked up another 3 seconds. So he's got to get the boots on the ground and go. Oh, battle for third.
Battle for third here. We got Adeltonian, Ben's Rice right behind him, who I'm gonna have a jolly little time saying that name. in the
Yeah,
regular
I'm gonna have a
season.
lot of fun in this.
But here's Ben's Rice, possibly. I mean, he's been looking to make this move for quite a little bit now, and he's been very, very patient.
This will be a
along.
nice
Oh, he
crossover.
got
Not
a
quite.
bit
Oh,
loose coming out of turn
little wobbly.
2 there. It was interesting. So maybe he's another one of those drivers who has traction control, maybe down on medium, as you can see, because he did not get the proper line. Though, is he going to make the move this time?
Whoa.
Adeltonian doing some solid defensive driving there, safely as well, to keep him behind. But Uncle Ben's going to have the DRS this time by as
Double
well as
DRS.
Adeltonian.
They both have the DRS.
As we are,
But
I think, to the line this time is going to be our final lap.
Ben was much better through the brakes there. So he's gonna try it into the hairpin, I think, here.
Is he gonna? Nope. He's not got a lot of room to make
This
that
is
happen.
a lot of patience. This is great patience.
I know
seeing
this is solid. I'm really liking what he's
that's something
doing
I
as
really
well.
like. Not going for bold moves, even with just 2 laps to go. That's really good patience.
So AP7 currently out in the lead, though I'm not going to commentate on who crosses the line first, because honestly, it's going to get messed up with penalties. As Adeltonian, Uncle Ben's just actually going along the left-hand side of him into turn 1. That was a good move.
Maybe I don't know if he kind of gave that one up, but Adeltonian just picked up 3 more seconds. Oh, he's lost more wing. He lost more wing. I think he hit the wall of champions again.
And don't forget, Valentine's also got a bit of front wing damage.
Valentine's also got the 12.
So I tell you what.
So Ben's going to get second here, most likely.
Probably. I mean, he might actually. Well, he might either race for it, or he might just get it on penalties, as you said. But I mean, right now, Valentine ahead of him has front wing damage.
I'd wait it out, because that's what I would do. But I'm obviously not him, so I would wait it out. But if he's got the opportunity, why not?
Yeah. And so here
we're
we
here
go.
To show what we can do. Oh, he's here. He's got it. He can do it.
So AP7's going to be coming to the line very shortly.
Come across.
He's got 11 seconds worth of penalties, but Valentine is significant. Is starting to drop off a little bit, less than 0.2 of a second back to second place. This is going to be a close one at the line.
DRS. This is going to be good.
Gonna get it. This is going to be close.
Valentine's Valentine's going to get second, but Ben is going to hold on to third.
That was
Monkey's
going to
pull up to second.
Monkey
pulls up to second because not having any penalties. He didn't have any penalties.
And Uncle Ben's
what pays off.
Third. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. And
no
at this
penalties
track
pays off like that.
Canada, I mean, Bahrain's not really that much of a penalty-heavy track, but this in particular. So I think we're probably going to see a better race at the next one, though that was pretty solid. A solid race all around. Fun. AP7, let's actually see. Can we see the details on how many spots? So AP7 started on pole. Monkey Mafia made up 3 spots since the beginning of the race. Uncle Ben's Rice made up 6 from the beginning of the race. The biggest mover so far in the positive direction, at least. Valentine behind him made up 4. Adeltonian in 5th. He actually lost a spot since the race. VTech and Young DJ both stayed the same. Rise lost out on 6 spots. PLR Optic made up 4. Ray, who's crossing the line right now, made up 1. And then B7 behind him, I believe, lost 8 spots since the initial start.
Yeah, he didn't. He had a pretty decent start, but.
And I believe the Discord's already going.
Uncle Ben's Rice, driver of the day. Everybody loves Monkey.
So our first race in the books, a pretty solid race overall. We had a lot of good action. Not the cleanest of races this time as far as just keeping it off the walls and especially the penalties, but I think we're going to get a better taste of that next round as, well, we're seeing Haas at the top of the podium. If you're an actual F1 fan, you're not used to this, but
that's that's never happened.
We've had Haas on the top step a couple times in the well, not in the top step. We've seen them on the podium a couple times in Div 2. I remember Jinnit had it at Monaco, and I believe Kaz got one as well. So and then
Jinnit's just
Space Cowboy coming up. Space Cowboys, he's got a lot of talent as well. I think he could actually.
I've raced with him a little bit before. I raced in a different league that he ran. He was pretty fun to race around, and I raced a little bit with him in D3 races to D2. And yeah, he was cool. He was great to race with. Good guy, knows what he's doing for sure.
Absolutely.
That's always a plus to really know what you're doing and understand the game and racing generally, but
absolutely. So I would go down the order, but I'm going to stop the recording here so we could start it again for the next race, so I actually
Copy.
don't run out of space on that. So that was the first race, really exciting. And next on to Bahrain. Righto, so here we are for the second race of the night. We're at the Bahrain International Circuit in actually it's the Sakir International Circuit in Bahrain. I've got that mixed around on my notes. But 15 corners make up this 5.5-kilometer circuit with 6 to the left and 9 to the right. 3 DRS zones here, but the biggest challenge obviously is going to be getting the proper, just apex into turn 10. That very, very tight left-hander that seems to get everybody at least once in this race. And I mean, this is personally one of my favorite tracks. I haven't been an F1 fan too long, mind you. I've only been an F1 fan since pretty much like last winter when I first watched Drive to Survive, and I was like, I'd never ever watched this track, but I love this track personally. I think it's one of the better ones that F1 races at, and so this current year, in what was it, October, that was actually the first time I'd ever watched F1 at Bahrain, and we had the
that was a great introduction to Bahrain.
Oh,
Someone
absolutely.
Exploding.
And then Kvyat being nearly killing Stroll as well.
Kvyat being Kvyat.
Inserts very loud Russian dubstep music. Yeah. What I would give to have Dacha 44 make a meme compilation on our races. I would love that. That man is he's like 14 and like the biggest genius when it comes to memes. It's actually a pleasure watching it. He made one about the McLaren car launch, and even something like that he was able to make funny. But so here we go, the formation lap for our second out of 4 races. So we're only going to do the second one tonight, but then we're going to head to Sochi and Silverstone tomorrow, which is going to be, well, I tell you what, maybe I'll actually be able to stream that because I'll be on good college Wi-Fi. So that might be a possibility. We don't know, but so we're going to be doing that tomorrow.
What I've noticed is with the random grid here has thrown the Canada winner AP all the way at the bottom of the grid.
And that usually
16.
never happens. If you stick with
if
you're here with the Friday races or even like F2, it's always the same like 2 guys on pole every race, which is kind of why I started racing on Friday, but also in bad, so it's all good. I would race in Friday more if it wasn't just all the Division 1 guys in the race. And
it's just D1.5.
That's absolutely what it is. Like I feel really confident going into it because I think at the Circuit of the Americas I got like 4th or something, and then all of a sudden, it's just a mess from there on out. That's why I stay. But as we were talking about F2 earlier, it's like the perfect mix between like Div 1 and then Div 3. It throws them all into the mix.
It's a mix between all of the divisions.
Exactly.
We got D1 guys going out and winning. We got D2 guys going out and doing good. D3 guys going out and doing good. Like Vietnam, I went out and almost podiumed, but the damn fuel.
Everybody ran out of gas.
We ran into the second oil crisis coming to the line. No. And I mean, half the field ran out of fuel.
You're not.
It was ridiculous.
But so anyways,
I was so happy.
That was a mess. But who are you looking for this race here? Me personally, I'm gonna go with Uncle Ben's Rice, as he had a really solid showing and kept it very, very clean. As we've got 2 drivers removed from the formation lap. I don't know how they've done that at Bahrain. At a track like at Monaco, I can expect that. That's fine. Interesting at Bahrain. But so here we go. Here very shortly. Do you have your eyes on anyone for this race in particular?
Looking at Uncle Ben's Rice, looking at the drivers who didn't quite get the chance to shine, like B7 and whatnot.
Right.
And especially these drivers that haven't been here yet. Like, anyways, let's go.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. We got Ulek up there as well. Lights out, and away we go. So OP Magic actually got a really good start. We got a McLaren, which Mystic Joker's already really off in the grass. I don't know if he got hit out of position or what.
No, he's the fastest guy. He's just gonna drop back. Whoa, trouble for Monkey.
So Monkey Mafia suddenly sliding
Monkey's
down
just gonna drop back too. Monkey's just gonna drop back too.
Well,
Monkey and Mystic are just gonna go out there and have some fun.
I was about to say, he doesn't have any front wing damage. I'm not rightly sure how that's happened here, but
Monkey and Mystic just kind of fell back.
I need my spectator menu back up, or I'm not gonna know who's who's done what. So OP Magic got the best start out of that, assuming that Monkey Mafia actually tried on the start, which he may have not.
I think he tried into the first corner, but...
Yeah, so we got OP Magic up there. He had a really good start. Actually started out on the medium tires. We got Vector behind him, who's on the softs, made up 2 spots since the beginning.
Yeah.
We also got Valentine possibly making...
Oh,
Valentine's
big
just been
trouble.
completely shunted
Whoa!
by Ulek. 3, 4
Oh,
cars,
no!
5
Huge
cars,
crash.
6 cars in the,
4,
in the
5,
mix.
6 cars off.
They're all there. Half the field has been taken out in turn 10.
That's the
5-second
DDL
penalty
went
for
around in the
DDL.
Ferrari.
Now, has he gone around, or has he actually made legitimate contact with somebody? Because
he went around good.
He's earned a penalty for a serious collision, but I'm wondering if he actually just got caught up.
I believe we've got a safety car.
We got a virtual safety car at the moment. So sometimes, you know, when that happens, sometimes when you do just spin around for whatever reason, you do get that 5-second penalty. And sometimes it just comes absolutely wacky as well.
Well, Holovan hit I guess not even a glitch, but the part of turn 9 where if you get up on the curb, it just sends you flying off.
Oh,
and he ran into someone, and that sent them off. And then one of the Williams, I think it was Optic, just slid across into both of them and started collecting a bunch of people. That was pretty insane. But
do you have Smith help?
yeah, he's up here. I think he joined just at the end of the.
He must have. I didn't notice him
at the end of the Canada race, but.
So the predicted pit stop strategy, I didn't catch up on this earlier, but you're pretty much pitting on laps 7 to 10 on either strategy, whether, I mean, some people are started on the mediums and will probably transition to the softs, but if you start on the softs, you're going to be pitting around 7 to 10. As we've got, Ulek has just...
So the order's a little messed up here. It says Holovan's in the lead, but he's about a half lap down.
It does, and I don't know why it does that. I don't know why it always suddenly glitches.
It's a little messy for now,
anyways,
but
as we got PLR Optic and and Holvik's just completely spun around there at the exit of 4. Unfortunate.
He's on, I guess you could say, cold hards.
Yeah,
because he's made his pit stop and he doesn't really have much reason to stay on the strategy, and those hards can probably make it.
Oh yeah, they probably. I think they easily could actually. We saw. We saw Sadistic King over in Div 2 go 22 laps on hards at China, nonetheless. So certainly they could stay there.
Let's see here. Holovan's had another incident, I believe.
Here's Young DJ overtaking Uncle Ben's Rice going into 1. It's going to be a very close one. Ben's Rice backs off at the right moment, letting Young DJ have that position. Young DJ gets really loose off the curb, I believe, out of turn 2. And so Uncle Ben's going to keep that position for now, as he also has... Does he have the DRS? I don't remember. I couldn't tell if he had it or not. But, well, anyways, he's got the position for now, as we've got Valentine's kind of a little bit farther behind in 5th. He's only about a second back now, but we've got Young DJ possibly making another move on Uncle Ben's Rice as they head out of 9, eventually into 10. Ben's Rice got really loose off the curb on exit of turn 9. He's going to keep the position for now, but as they go into 10, is the move going to be made? Oh, that was a risky one. Almost made it pay off, but DJ going to back off at in the nick of time and not cause that collision. But he has the DRS, and now as they go up into 11, one of the harder turns on the circuit, and then into 12, where if you hit that curb, you really just spin.
If you hit that curb on any traction control, you're cooked.
Absolutely, and it reminds me a lot of Hungary in that respect, because Hungary's got that one corner in Sector 2 where you hit it at all, and you're going round, which is unfortunate because you need that curb to even exist. But anyways, again, here's Young DJ as he could make the move this time with the DRS, as we are entering onto lap 4.
Yeah, he's going to crack that open. Ben's going to defend a little bit, but how much defense can he do?
Behind them as well. Yeah, it's going to be close. Ben's going to let him have the outside, which is actually probably the smarter.
Yeah, definitely the better choice here, because...
That well,
whoa, Valentine.
Valentine almost got into that as well. I mean, good defensive driving from Ben's Rice.
This is going to be a nice little skirmish here.
Yeah, and
4
Ben's
drivers
Rice,
up here.
And Ben's Rice did well to recognize, give him the outside line so he has the longer way around, as we got a yellow flag over in sectors.
Problem in turn 1.
We had
that was B7 went around.
B7 missing any wing? It's hard to tell with these Alfa Romeo cars because the front wing is pitch black and you can't really tell if they're missing any or not. It doesn't appear that he is, but sometimes you get pretty confused on that. As
I don't think he is. I think he's okay. I think he only went around.
OP Magic up in first, who had a good starting spot.
This is some real deal speed right now.
This is pretty solid.
This is the fastest lap.
We're going to go back along with young DJ at the moment, who is currently still putting the pressure on Uncle Ben's Rice as they head up through 11 and then into 12. As we were going earlier, OP Magic has now extended his gap to almost 2 seconds now. He's been hovering around that 1.7 second mark there as he's starting to lengthen it even more. But Uncle Ben's Rice currently almost 6 seconds behind VTech in second place, and Ben's Rice actually going to handle that well. I thought he was going to go off there for a minute. He was a little bit wide on exit of 14, but he's done well to keep it there. Is young DJ going to get the overtake this time by? He's going to get around him. He is going to get it. It's going to be close. Nice move. Completely got Great move around the outside there. Good stuff there from young DJ. That was and he's going to keep the DRS too. He's going to have the DRS as well. Oh no, actually, Ben is. Huh. Down into turn 4. He's going to get him back. Oh, the lockup. Whoa! This is great racing. Yeah, this is nice. Ben's gonna get it. What? Wow. So Ben, even being overtaken going into 1, has done a good job of coming back and retaking that position. But as we go down further along into the grid, now we've got AP7, who's right behind Rise and then Valentine. So pretty much a 3-car battle here for 5th as they're going to be heading into the DRS zone as they head through turn 10 now. Rise is going to be right up along the rear end of Valentine there and not make contact. Actually had a bit of a lockup going into the corner just to maybe try and avoid making contact there. But he's going to have the DRS as well as AP7. Actually, no, he doesn't have it. Whoa. Huh. He's getting really good up here for the 3rd spot. Oh, and the battle's still going on as well between Uncle Ben's Rice and this is still hot. Solid. Oh, this is going to be nice. I think he might make this as well. Nope, he's playing it safe for now. And you got to think as well, young DJ's on the soft tires. DJ's on the softs and Ben isn't. And Ben's managing to hold pretty nicely. Yeah, he's doing a really good defensive driving job. And here comes DJ all the way to the bottom. He's got the inside line again. I think he might have it for good this time. They're going to stick side by side. And young Ben's going to have the DRS and the run out. Now, yeah. So good job by Ben's Rice. Oh, he's making the move again. Here we go. Around the outside. Trouble in the back. As we've got a car off in turn 15. I think that might be. That is B7 again. Oh, it's B7. Whoa. What has happened to B7? Another incident. Might have just lost it off the corner, but. He doesn't have any. Does he have damage? It doesn't look like it. Oh, and he's got a 5-second penalty for speeding into the pit lane. That is. I'm going to say, to be completely honest, Best Pawns was pushing me pretty hard to try and draft him. And I was like, I don't know about this, man. I'm not sure. I know there's definitely going to be better people. Oh, we got an incident here. So AP7, I think, got into the rear end of, I believe that was the Ferrari of Valentine ahead of him, who I think they made contact on exit at 10. I don't think he's lost much. That was pretty close, because someone was really wide there. I think it actually could have been the AlphaTauri of Rise who I was looking at, just trying to avoid it in case anything happened, but certainly something happened there. But a solid race so far, as that battle for 3rd still taking place. How Ben Rice has been how he's been able to hold this position on the slower compound. Here comes young DJ. There goes DJ into the pits. Soft tires are probably going to be wearing in a little now. Yeah, it's been. I believe we've got VTech 2 stopping here, but I don't know. Yep, so we got VTech stopping. Drivers on softs pitting, drivers on mediums pitting. That's going to look nice for the next montage. I actually got a little bit of that pit stop. Oh, good. Monkey Mafia. With DJ? With the camera on it? That was nice. Oh, yes, here we go. Now Monkey Mafia is actually getting a problem. Do you understand how hard it is to find a video clip of me spectating someone and not replacing their front wing? It is actually ridiculously hard to find. I went through every single race this season looking for a pit stop that I spectated that there wasn't a front wing replacement, and there was only one that I could find, and that's the one that's in the montage at the beginning of the video. I tried so hard to either find one where there was no front wing replacement or one that I didn't cut out of in the middle. And so shout out to Monkey Mafia for giving me content for next season's montage. Oh, Lord.
I hope he gets drafted into the AlphaTauri.
AP7's going to make the move around Rise here as they head through turn 11 and 12. This is a solid battle here, and AP7 does well to actually make that move. And then DDL,
whoa!
DDL,
That's the lap car.
He wasn't the back marker that cut in front of Adeltonia in that last race, was he?
He was.
Was he now? Huh. Interesting stuff there. And yeah, he's going to stay right in the middle of the circuit.
Defense.
He's going to stay right
yeah,
in the middle of the circuit.
I'm not a fan of that.
Not what we like to see here, unfortunately.
Definitely not what I want to see when someone's showcasing something. When someone's showcasing what they have, I'm not looking for someone.
Yeah, that was.
Who would rather who is just gonna block for his friends.
Oh no,
that's not what I want.
Replacing his front wing. I was really about to do one of those sick camera cuts where they switch to every car at the same moment doing the pit stop. Now I have to.
Oh, that would have been so awesome.
I wanted to do that so bad. I was in just like a normal race, like in single player, trying to get something like that. But then I ran out of time, so either that or I couldn't make it to lap 8 without replacing a front wing, as I was at like. That was another one of those races where I was trying to not use traction control, but
yeah.
Right. So, anyways, so Monkey Mafia okay. So no, here's PLR Optic making the move on Rise as they head into 4. Optic's got the inside. Rise doing a good job of giving him enough space to work here. It's going to be side by side all the way down through 6.
This is a really hairy place to go side by side.
Well,
that's really hairy to go side by side.
They did it cleanly, at least. I tell you what, props to that.
I mean,
for
it
making
worked.
That clean.
It worked really well.
Pretty solid.
But that is a really hairy place to go side by side.
Yeah, no, that's a little bit wacky of a place to do that. But here's young DJ up in 6th, possibly making the move on Adeltonian very shortly. He had a little bit of a lockup going into turn 11, which not the place you really want to have a lockup, as that corner is really responsible for a lot of time lost and gain specifically. Because if you don't hit that line correctly into 11, that is kind of a mess for you. As we got the top 2 of Uncle Ben's Rice and AP7 entering the pits now, as we're going to go along with AP. Nope, he hasn't gone through yet. But any other close battles yet? Young DJ and Adeltonian still battling for position there. As a lot of cars coming into the pits now, 3 or 4 at least. Yep, here comes Adeltonian as well. PLR Optic. When did he pit? We have the.
Nice little battle up here, the 2 AlphaTauris.
So pretty much everyone has pit so far. 3-car battle here going into turn 1. This is going to be a good one. We got the 2 AlphaTauris and a Williams.
Monkey just set the fast lap of the race. That was a 28.703. That's pretty good. But Monkey's a 28.703 pace.
They go side by side. Now this is a good battle here between the 2 AlphaTauri. I don't want to say teammates, but temporary teammates between Monkey Mafia and Rise. I mean, let's check and see how both of them have done so far this race. Rise has made up 6 spots since the beginning. Monkey Mafia losing 6 spots. The biggest mover so far in the race, in the positive direction at least, is AP7, who has gained 11 spots since the beginning of the race. And then Ulek, who has lost actually 12 since the beginning of the race, is unfortunately lost the most so far. But tell you what, still 4 laps to go here, and I'm not sure about a lead change at this moment in time, but here specifically in the midfield, as PLR Optic goes really wide on the exit of turn 11, and could be under pressure from Monkey Mafia as they go into 13 here. Oh, that one was close.
Monkey got the run. Here we go.
Here we go again. He's not going to have DRS in the straight. Why they don't have DRS in the straight is actually beyond me.
That should be the 3rd DRS straight, but this
it really should.
Side by side. Whoa.
Well, that's close, and that was actually.
Monkey's going to have the DRS, but so is Rise. Rise is going to have DRS too, so he may be able to just swing in and take both of them out, or none of them are going to have DRS.
Side by side.
Because none of them have DRS.
Yeah, that was the only one that had DRS. Was
Monkey
AP7.
Just didn't take it. Whoa! Rise goes off.
Contact being made. A lot of clean racing between some of these midfield guys. Despite
really good.
It's actually been really solid. I'm quite enjoying this actually. As PLR
I'm
Optic
a huge fan of this right now.
Is he going to try to make the move going into 4? No, he's not. He's going to calm it for now. As Rise behind him, Valentine actually might be putting him under pressure here very shortly as they head through 5, 6, and then 7. And then eventually down into 8. Here comes Valentine right up against the bumper of Rise and somehow didn't make contact. Very well done there to avoid anything. But kind of a
I just noticed Optic has some wing damage. Optic has wing damage on the left.
Now what?
He lost his left side end plate.
Now, did he make contact with Monkey Mafia on that last lap? I think he actually may have, going through turns 1 and 2.
He might have. Not
because I remember
sure.
that was very, very close there. I'm not rightly sure if he has or hasn't, but I tell you what, he's holding the position for now as we get a yellow flag over Sector 2. That is, I believe that is a Ferrari of DDL. Yep, and he is
DDL off again. That is a big
toasted.
off.
He has toasted his front wing.
Huge off.
In fact, if you go to the default camera, he is nowhere to
We
be
have a
found.
safety car. We have a safety car.
A full safety car with less
and
than
he is
4
retired
laps to
on
go.
track. Yeah.
But see, this is the
retiring
problem.
on track is
yeah. We don't want to do that here. However,
yeah,
you're
going to get a little penalty.
This is going to be the interesting thing here because are we going to get the safety car start? Are we going to get a start before the end of the race? Because a lot of these drivers coming into the pit, so it's going to take at least maybe 2 of these laps to catch up to the safety car. I'm not entirely sure we're going to get the start in, to be completely honest.
Does this game allow you to end the race under a safety car? I've never seen it.
I'm not entirely sure. It's been
This is going to be interesting. This is a new situation.
I've actually, because as we saw at the Sakir Grand Prix, the outer layout of the Bahrain International Circuit, we actually saw a safety car finish.
No, that was the normal Bahrain.
No, that was the second one because I remember Russell was down in like 8th and he like.
Maybe they were both safety car finishes. I know for a fact because in the normal Bahrain, Perez blew the engine.
Yeah, you might be right about that.
Turned into a rotisserie chicken, so they ended, and that was like with 3 to go, so they just called it out.
Anyways, he drove that car for about another like half of the track, and they were like, "Jekko, you need to stop the car now." As OP Magic's going to get plenty of time for a pit stop here, as they're going to be catching the safety car.
Easily going to get it out.
Over going into the DRS section over just on
so
exit at turn
VTech
3.
is going to stay out and stay on the medium thing.
And
he's not going to gain anything out of it. But
he's only on 4-lap-old medium, so it could be worse. Tell you what, I think that's actually a solid idea, though. He could have taken a stop.
With a late end,
it's actually smart.
Yeah. With a late safety car like this, it's probably best to just pit and get on the softs, get as much as you can.
Yeah, that is true.
I don't see the point of pitting and getting back on and getting on the softs if everyone else is going to do it. Because then, if you're in a pack, you can get spots out of that. So, you know, it's kind of dependent, I guess.
Yeah, and as we look down the rest of the grid here on tire life, we've got OP Magic on fresh softs. He's just pitted. Vector VTech in second, 4-lap-old mediums. Uncle Ben's Rice behind him in third on 2-lap-old softs.
Has 9-lap-old softs and has not pitted. 9 laps on those mediums, not softs, mediums.
Yeah.
I apologize, but 9 laps on the mediums. That's most of the race.
Yeah, actually, yeah. But most of this field is on decently new tires, so I think you're probably going to be right. The drivers who are on that soft compound are probably going to have the advantage. However, I think it's actually pretty even at the moment because
I think it's
going to be solid. It's going to be a solid start if we get it in.
If we get the start for sure, which we might. They might just send it. They may just send it green now.
Well,
there's been a big crash. There's been a huge crash on the safety car thing. Big stack up at least.
Safety car is going to be in this lap. Only about 10.
It requires you. The game. It's game mandated to come in with 2 to go to give us a good finish.
Huh.
To give us a finish at all.
Interesting stuff there. Well, thank you, Codemasters, for putting that into the game because I really did not want to end this car in a second. But look how far OP Magic is behind the safety car. He's really just milking the heat out of those tires.
Very far back.
If you were Roman Grosjean at Mugello, you would not be happy with him at the moment. But here they go. Now he's starting to take off. Now this is something interesting.
Now he's going to take off to the races.
But see, this is the interesting thing about being under safety car. When you are the leader of the race, you have some sort of limiter on the car until the safety car enters the pit lane, which is I think he
used that to a big advantage.
Really
we got a nice little battle up here.
And it's really hard to manage that as well. As we got a big battle in the midfield here. We got AP7 going around the inside or right-hand side of Young DJ, and both of them have just picked up penalties, or excuse me, Young DJ and Smith Pell have picked up penalties. The rest of the grid, the top 4 right now is actually spread out quite far, but the rest of the pack is in some battle here. We actually got a back marker of Ulek kind of holding up AP7 here. Just a little bit, not really. Yeah, he's not really obeying the blue flags whatsoever at all. Oh, and
Whoa!
young DJ's just been
That's
turned or
DJ,
something.
that's DJ.
He's way
Big
off
crack.
in the corner.
He made contact with, it might have been Valentine that he made contact with and just went flying off.
That was strange. Yeah, I did not see anyone even close
He
to
made
him at the
contact
front. He's just completely
with
been
somebody.
turned. But speaking of
He
Valentine,
made contact with someone. Whoa! Ray goes around.
Valentine and Ray's gone around
Loops it.
there at the middle of 10. A lot of closely contested battles, though, as we got
Side by
Smith
side
Pell
here for
and Aid
fifth.
Eltonian
Whoa!
for 6th place, and then we got
That is
5th place
close.
ahead of them. Valentine's being held up by Ulek. Smith Pell's actually going to get a good
Is that
opportunity.
Ulek or is that Mystic? That's Ulek.
That's Ulek right there. So he's going to get so Smith Pell actually might get a solid opportunity to overtake Valentine.
Here we go. Here comes
assuming
Optic.
he can get around the back marker. He's got a big
contact.
lockup going into the corner. We got contact behind them. Side-by-side battle here. Adel Tony nearly got sent into the pit lane by the Renault next to him of Smith Pell. This is a side-by-side battle down the straight.
Battle.
Oh, it's going to be a good one. Now,
These two fight around in D2 all the time as well, so this isn't anything new.
Smith Pell. Oh, this is going to be close.
3
Smith
wide.
Pell, something happened.
Oh,
goodness.
they all stack up and Optic pulls out. Whoa.
What's going on? So much action going on in that one corner.
And
we had 4 cars.
Optic started that corner in 8th and pulled out all the way to 6th.
Wow, what
Just
a
went
move
around the
for
both
him.
of them and let him fight it out. That was a great move by PLR Optic.
Momentarily,
to
though,
pull
we've
that
got a
through.
possible battle for 2nd place as Uncle Ben's
Oh,
Rice
yeah.
and VTech are coming out of turn, going into turns 9 and 10 right now. Got a yellow flag backwards.
Monkey
that is
has maybe gone off. Yeah, Monkey's gone off pretty
that's
big,
Alpha
I
Tauri
think.
of Monkey Mafia who's gone off back there. But Uncle Ben's Rice, we're going to ride along with him just for a little bit as he could. He's got the
This is gonna be
DRS
close.
now. Or did he have the DRS? I don't know. It didn't look
There
like
is
it
no
was
DRS yet. There's no DRS
Oh,
anymore.
facts.
Because
I
it's
forgot
two.
about that.
There's only 2
Yeah.
laps left, and DRS doesn't open until the 3rd.
I get very confused when there's little rules like that. But here comes, here they go. So is he going to be able to make this overtake as OP Magic coming out of turns 14 and
Easily
15? He's
comes
had,
through and
or really just
that was a
might as well hand him
awesome
the
race.
paper. He's
Great
had nothing to
drive.
do today, and OP Magic
That's,
taking the win in the
That
second
is
race.
your
though. Here we
Haas
go.
ride, sir.
Oh, this
VTech
is-
gets 2nd.
That's going to be close. VTech's
Benz
coming to
will
line.
come
VTech
3rd.
does get 2nd. AP7 getting 4th. Valentine coming home 5th. PLR Optic
Whoa!
6th.
Smith loops it in the final turn!
Smith
no!
Pell is in the barriers
Oh,
on the
man.
inside of 15. Then he pulls across the track, nearly kills Monkey Mafia. in the
Nearly
process.
takes out B7.
Or was that B7?
Wow.
Goodness me. Wow,
That was
lots,
B7.
Lots of
That was
action
great.
there.
That was a great finish.
That was, I tell you what, that was a really solid race, and Smith Pell gets a 5-second penalty for an unserved penalty. So
He may
more
have gotten
penalties on top of that.
He may have violated the Delta under the safety car.
Oh, those deltas are such
And just
a
never-
mess.
I know they're the worst.
Especially under
That's both
VSC.
me and you in the Vietnam sprint.
Oh my god, dude! Not even.
Dude, we were
not even
1-2.
that. Oh, that was such
And
a
it just
mess.
cost us the whole race. I mean, we weren't beating the Australians,
No,
but
not at all.
still, that's
It's
a good podium
It's
fight.
ridiculous as well because if you're going through a corner under VSC, you have to pretty much stop the car or get the penalty.
yeah, it's so bad.
And especially if you're going through the corners at the end of the VSC when you're trying to keep respecting the delta, yet somehow keep the position to the guy behind you that's going to overtake you. But the podium for the BWT Racing Point, he's had a really solid day. And there's Uncle Ben's Rice up there in
Racing
third
Point
as
on the
well.
podium in Bahrain.
Absolutely.
That's-
What a
that's
solid race.
something
that
we've
was.
seen before.
Actually, yeah, very ironic, as a matter of fact.
And a Red Bull and a Mercedes. This was almost what happened in the real Bahrain race, just kind of flipped around a little bit.
Yeah, I tell you what, except the Red Bull of Verstappen.
Red Bull wouldn't have gotten it,
Yeah, that was tough.
because it would have been Albon.
Let's go.
Anyways.
Well, excuse
Finishing
me, Albon.
order.
Albon finishing on a podium? Are you sure?
He did it in Bahrain, because of Checo.
Oh, yeah. So, righto. So, anyways, OP Magic finishing out the race in first. VTech behind him in second. Uncle Ben's Rice third. AP7 in fourth. PLR Optic fifth. Valentine in sixth. Adeltoni in seventh. Rise in eighth. Ray 46th and ninth. Young DJ 10th. Monkey Mafia 11th. Smith Pell 12th. 13th is Team B7, 14th is Ulek, 15th is Mystic Joker, and then rounding out the field in 16th, the only other Italian I've ever seen in this league. Unfortunately, DDL finishing 10th. I think I'm the only other driver that flies under the Italian banner in this league, but very solid racing.
I change the flag every week to the most to the most random flag
is that
every time.
What do you have now?
I don't remember. I think it's Malta or something, but I have to change it before F2. because
I see.
I do it every Wednesday.
Right.
So I'll
So,
run like
anyways,
some random ass place.
that's right. So, anyways, the end of that. I mean, so what did you think about the racing? We got two more races tomorrow at Sochi and at Silverstone. What did you think of the action today?
That was great racing. We had a lot of good battles, especially at the end. There was a lot of tight, close racing for about fifth and sixth.
Yeah.
But I saw a lot of good stuff, and that showed me that maybe there are some drivers who need to be drafted quick as soon as I can,
Yeah.
because I'm most likely going to be running up the draft for Renault. So it's probably going to be a lot of, I'm thinking of having, making. Words are very difficult for me.
I respect it. Don't worry about it.
Looking at a lot of them, it was good to see who is, clean, smooth, and patient, because I always look for patience. So this was good to watch. A lot of fun up here in the booth. This was great.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we had
thanks for having me up.
absolutely no problem. And just before we get off the air as well, as we predicted, this was going to be a much better race with a lot less penalties, and that's exactly
That was
what
great.
happened as well. But yeah, do join us tomorrow in Sochi and in Silverstone for the second half of the Div 4 Combine. Me, myself, Hotspot, you'll see me again racing. Actually, you'll see both of us racing on Wednesday when F2
in the
goes
F2 league.
to... Where do we go to this week? Actually,
I believe it's Hungary.
oh no.
That's what I said. That's what I said
Please
too.
no. Oh no.
It's Hungary, Spa, and
actually
Spain.
Okay, well I don't
It's
mind.
Hungary, Spa, and Spain are
I
the
don't
next
mind,
three. This is
I don't
so
mind
bad.
Spa or Spain that much, but it's gonna be a
I've
mess.
never driven Spain in an F2 car.
I
I'm, like,
haven't driven
scared.
any of these. The best part is going into time trials and just getting like first in every category because honestly, it's
'Cause
like
no one does it.
races these tracks. But righto, anyways, for Hotspot and Money Matt, we will see you tomorrow for the second half of the Div 4 Combine. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.